Welcome to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in New Hampshire for the 14th round of the ARCSOA Elite Series. Grayson Ace Vito is on pole with Tristan Wilhoit 2nd, Dorian Bouchard 3rd, Kenny Mai 4th, Monaco 5th, Padcar 6th, Shelley 8th, or 7th, Angel 8th, Pericles 9th, Alex Allen 10th, Tyler Thaber 11th, and DJ Curtis 12th. That is your Q3 people. Before we go any further, Ryan Griffin got into a pretty noticeable verbal altercation this week, and keep in mind he also sold the team due to financial issues, and now he's not going to be racing the rest of the season, so Mosport, his third place finish, will be his last. Christian Vanderpesch moved to car number 19, however Griffin qualified that car, so Vanderpesch goes to the rear of the grid. In replacing Christian Vanderpesch in the 19 car from the 7, because Vanderpesch moved to 17, is Travis Scott, the Texan native. He is going to be going to the rear as well, just because Vanderpesch qualified that car 32nd on the grid, so Vanderpesch will be starting, I believe, 35th, and Scott 36th on the grid. Halleck, Dunbar, Wallish, and Cohen all are going to be in their usual positions. For Indianapolis 250, which is next week, the top 25 in points are locked in. Right now, Zayden Davidson is the cutoff with 17 points for top 25. So Halleck, Wilhoit, and Vincent Allen can all lose it. I pretty think realistically Halleck's going to be locked in. Lamas, Gurian, Dover, Vanderpesch, Fitzwater, Dormitory, Wallish, Caldwell, Cohen, and I also have to admit Travis Scott, who is not listed on here because he doesn't have any points. All can theoretically make it into locking themselves in, but they've got a lot of work to do in order to do that. Let's go down to the round of New Hampshire. Ace Vito leads the field down to the green with Wilhoit on the outside. Wilhoit gets a great start, though, on the outside, though, as he tries to dive into one, maybe to take the lead there. However, Ace Vito will have the preferred line through the corner. Ace Vito, of course, the pole sitter by quite some margin, by 0.2 of a second. As you can see, this is a little shorter than normal. ARCSOA remeasured this track at 1.058 miles, which took away 7 laps from the running order, actually. So we will see 123 laps rather than 130 today, as Ace Vito and Wilhoit are still duking it out side by side. Virtually through the entire field, everyone is side by side. Haven't really been able to break away from anybody here, as Ace Vito finally is going to clear Tristan Wilhoit. No, maybe not. I thought he cleared him there, but it looks like Wilhoit's going to be fighting back on the outside there. I think now Ace Vito's definitely cleared him. So, yeah, they're right there, and now it's Myatt actually takes third on the outside away from Bouchard, so that's a pretty impressive move if you ask me there. Monaco gets Padcar, and so the race here at New Hampshire has really begun here. Nice clean start. Time to mention the big news items. As I said in pre-race, Ryan Griffin quit. So Vanderpesch moves from the 19 to the 17, had to start from the back, and Travis Scott, the Texan native, ARCSOA Lights regular, or ARCSOA Junior Series regular, is now in the 19 running 36th right now. Now, if you're Travis Scott, you're in your first ARCSOA race, you've just got to be really careful here. First ARCSOA Elite Series race, that is. Just got to mind your nose clean today. Ooh, that's going to be an aggressive battle here between Vanderpesch and the 60 car. You don't want to do that too often there down the straightaway. Vanderpesch is kind of door checking him there. The 60, you don't want to do that too often, but Vanderpesch is going to make it work, and I think kind of rattled the cage of the 60, as we're going to keep our eye on this, I think, a little bit here, as now looks like Tauger's doing the same thing to him a little bit there. Doesn't really like being 3 wide. This track's kind of tough to go 3 wide on, and it looks like that's going to settle itself out pretty nicely, though. Kenny Myatt has moved his way up to 2nd position by getting underneath Tristan Wilhoit. We've seen Myatt do very well on this track in the past, and he also has a lot of momentum coming off of Mosport, his Mosport victory. So Kenny Myatt is going to be a factor to watch in this event here. Meanwhile, it's not a great day for the points contenders. There's Noah Hart's in the lower points. John Artis right now outside of the points, I believe. Second in points, Trek Tauger's a long way outside of the points. I think Bouchard's the only one that's in the points that is up front, and he's in fourth. So it's one of those days, and I think Padcar might be up there too in points. So this is a great day for CJ Racing, because CJ Racing has third, fourth, and fifth, and now is going to try and take over second away from Maya, because Wilhoit's diving underneath him again. So, very orderly race so far, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of breakaway either in this race, so interesting to see that. Nick Pericles, another major championship contender, is in P9. Chris Dodd is, I didn't think he qualified that well, so oh, he's in the points though. Another championship contender, and the 81 of Sean Angel's in the points, so we could see some points gains today. However, now actually Myatt has just gotten Wilhoit back again, so kind of a bit of a leapfrogging battle from second on back as Ace Vito continues to lead this. As what Maya wants to see is Bouchard trying to get underneath his teammate. I don't think that's going to happen for a little bit, but Ace Vito loves seeing what's going on behind him, except I'm guessing he doesn't like seeing the BGSU number 9 behind him. James Shelley now is looking underneath Eric Monaco for position. Gotta also mention how nicely this track looks now at night, because they put a lighting package around this track. Great to see. Much overdue for this track. I think this track was one that was kind of deserving of a lighting package for a long time. Kristen Wilhoit, ever since getting passed by Myatt, has continued to tumble down the field a bit here. He's down to 5th position from running second a couple laps ago. So Wilhoit's just got to start working his way up the order here. However, right now it's looking pretty good now as Monaco's fighting back on the outside and actually passes Shelley on the outside of a corner. So great to see that kind of aggressive move there. Noah Hart right now is falling outside of the points as Madeline Myatt's been on an absolute tear through the field since the start of this race. She started back in 21st, and now she's up to 15 from not a very good starting spot. So in 15 laps, a track that really passing hasn't been that easy on this year is a pretty good decision, is a pretty good thing, as now Padcar and Bouchard are making a move on Myatt for second. That's a very important move because the CJ Racing cars do look strong today. However, Myatt would hold them off here now on lap 18. He is now trying to re-solidify second position and start going after Ace Vito. Ace Vito's led since the start of this race, as actually looks like Angel now has gotten by Wilhoit. Looks like Shelley's working his way through the field as well. Dodd's another one that's kind of climbed his way through the field so far in this race. Actually, yeah, he's gained a couple of spots since the start. The biggest mover of the race, though, however, has been Christian Vander Pesch. Started back in 35th position, up to 20th in a car that is pretty quick. Watch Vander Pesch here. He might make Ryan Griffin look really silly for leaving that car, because I know he sold the team due to finances. However, Ryan Griffin might have just made himself, because Vander Pesch might make him look like a real idiot here, because the 17 car is flying through the field. 20 laps, he's gained 15 spots. In the back of the field, you have your usual suspects: Fitzwater, Caldwell, Lamas, Halleck, Wallish, Cohen, Dunbar, and then you've got Travis Scott, who's just barely hanging on to what he's doing here. Excuse me. Travis Scott is having a very lackluster opening. However, kind of expect that, considering he's new to the series and may not know the different power ratios from the junior cars to this one, to these elite cars. Kenny Myatt and Grayson Ace Vito have kind of broken away from third position there, and now Myatt is still going to try everything he can to get by Ace Vito. Ace Vito's done a very good job holding off the 9 throughout this entire race so far, and I would be very, very surprised to see if Ace Vito doesn't put up a fight here to hold that spot even more, because Myatt's going to start looking very aggressive here now that we're hitting 100 to go. Sean Angel now is trying to break into the wall of CJ Racing here as he's looking to go by that would be Eddie Champadkar. Meanwhile, Bouchard's trying to go by Myatt for second, and we know that the 88's going to be pretty strong today. We know those CJ Racing cars are very strong. The only one we're not seeing in the top 10, really, is DJ Curtis. And he's running 14th, so it kind of just shows what racing's kind of like here. The big loser so far in this race has been Noah Hart. He's lost a couple of spots here. However, his main championship rivals haven't really capitalized either, like John Arndt. However, it's still a long race to go. Myatt would officially lose second position, and now third to Eddie Schumpadkar as Will Hoyt's trying to get by back underneath Sean Angel here, because Angel somehow got shuffled to the high line. And it's just a very, very interesting race. It's just the field's really not spreading out. Bouchard's going to try and look underneath Ace Vito for the lead here, or he has been trying. Hasn't been able to get anything done. Ace Vito's just been able to really play his lines right here. It takes a lot of it takes a lot of thinking here to make a move here, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people are willing to go for it. No, Bouchard made a mistake, and that's going to put the 9 in second, I think, right there. However, Ace Vito's going to pull the 88 along, and I think, no, he's going to hold that spot, actually. However, another mistake by Ace Vito there, or by Bouchard, unless if the 9's signaling he's going to pit. No, he doesn't. So the 9, I think, might end up getting the spot here. I think the 88 has made a couple of mistakes on this run here, and that's going to hurt him. However, the 88 would pin the 9 to the outside here, and now the 9 is in the same boat that the 88 was in just a couple laps ago. However, the 9 gets a very good run off the corner and will hold the position for the time being, as looks like the big loser now has been Will Hoyt. He's fighting outside of the top 10 right now, or he's fighting for a top 10. As Will Hoyt's fallen back, Bichelia's moved his way into the top 10. That's a big mover there. And Dodd's another big mover into the top 10. And right now, you've got Madeline Myatt also looking very quick here as this race continues onward. I wonder where the 31 is. The 31 is still in 23rd, so he isn't doing very well from a bad qualifying spot either. Some of the back markers are starting to bring it down pit road. Vance Caldwell and Cody Lamas have decided to pit a little early here. Maybe going to try and leapfrog some of the guys here, as we're going to start seeing, I think the 81 is pitting, the 9's pitting. Here we go. So the 8 came in very late there. And now we're starting to see cars start bringing it down pit road here. And this is where things are going to get mighty interesting here to see which pit strategy is going to work. Will the 9 strategy work over, let's say, Bouchard here? Or, not Bouchard, but let's say Ace Vito. With how closely, tightly packed the field's been in this race, pit strategy could mean everything. As here comes everyone except, looks like a couple of cars stayed out, actually. James Shelley would be our first new leader of the race, as he has stayed out a little bit here. There hasn't been an on-track pass for the lead yet in this race. However, James Shelley has become the second leader in this race. I believe he, Bichelia, and Gurian, Baskinger, Jones, they're all going to be pitting this time here. Now, the big battler here is going to be what Kenny Myatt's going to do with Ace Vito. Who gets the better run off of the corner? Who gets the better pit stop strategy? They both did pretty similar pit stop times here, and it looks like the 9, it looks like pitting early is going to actually benefit here, and the 9 and the 8 have taken over the lead of this race. So, and the 11 lost a bunch of time by pitting late. And the biggest gainer has been Madeline Myatt, who was running all the way down in, I think, 12th before the pit stop cycle, and now I think she might be in a top 10. Let's see, Myatt's the leader. Kenny Myatt's the leader. Or, well, not yet, technically, because they've got to go by James Shelley and them. So Myatt's the leader, Padcar second, Angel is third. Looks like Shelley is going to... no, it looks like Dodd is fourth. Ace Vito's down to fifth. Bouchard to sixth. And it looks like it's going to be between Shelley and Myatt for 7th. Myatt gets 7th, Shelley 8th, Bichelia 9th, Pericles 10th, Vanderpesch 11th from 35th. 12th is Will Hoyt, 13th is Monaco, 14th is Allen, and 15th is Benjamin Dover from a really lowly starting position as well. He was down in 28th at the start. Tauger and John Arndt now are starting to work their way through the order, as Noah Hart's been struggling this whole race. And now you're going to start seeing these drivers try and get points. They are two major championship contenders, and both drivers have a very serious shot to win Indianapolis next week. And with how well their straight line speed is, wouldn't surprise me if they'd be going for pole either. But here they go down the straightaway. John Arndt continues to claw his way through the field. The biggest loser on the pit stop cycle had to be Tyler Thaber. Remember, he started in 11th, and he's down to 33rd. Not a great run there for the Team Flame driver. Just miserable day for him so far. Just bad pit stop, etc. Eddie Shimpadkar would dive underneath Kenny Myatt for the lead of the race, and he would get the position here. We know Padkar is one of the fastest cars on the track here, and Padkar proves it right there. Madeline Myatt's another really quick car as she goes underneath her teammate for 5th position. Remember, Madeline Myatt started all the way back in 21st, or actually 20th because of Ace Vito, or not because of Ace Vito, because of Vanderpesh going to the back. So Madeline Myatt showing what she's capable of doing in this race. Bouchard and Shelley are battling for 7th position right now. Shelley is having a pretty spirited run today here. The 88's lost a couple of spots from his starting position. However, he was kind of on a mistimed pit strategy, to be honest with you. However, Shelley hasn't been able to make the move stick. Dodd and Angel are battling for 3rd as Madeline Myatt's really showed up to play now. She's caught the leading 4, which are about 2 seconds in front of her when she made the move on Ace Vito. So I'm interested to see what that one's going to do, because she is very, very quick compared to some of her competitors up there. She could be a big threat there as Angel holds the spot from Dodd. However, they got to watch the one. Angel looks underneath Kenny Myatt for 2nd. However, it was kind of an ill-timed move, but we'll see how this works for him as he's got the inside. Very, very good move here as you can see kind of Padkar's pulling away, but he's going to come into lap traffic here. Myatt's all by himself on the outside, though. And actually now Angel doesn't have any help, and Myatt's going to hold the position. No, not yet. Angel dive bombs it for 2nd. Remember, Angel's really good on kind of these mile or less ovals this year. Same with Padkar. Padkar did very well in Mexico. Remember, Angel won it in Texas and won at Brazil. So we're going to see if Angel's going to be a 3-time winner this year. Only Tauger has done that this year. Madeline Myatt's going to try a 3-wide move here for 3rd. Oh boy, this is an aggressive move. Not going to pay off to get all 3 of them, but might get Dodd here. That was a very aggressive move that Myatt was going to try and pull. Very, very aggressive, but it looks like she's going to maybe get the spot here as Padkar's now pulling off lap cars left in her, or actually pulled off Dunbar pretty easily. And Dunbar tends to be somebody that's not the easiest to pass, as we saw last week in Canada. Madeline Myatt uses Chase Dunbar as a pick on Sean Angel to get 3rd away from him, as does Dodd get 4th away from him. So now it is Padkar who's being held up by Scott, Myatt, Dodd, and Angel in that order. And then 6th place is still Ace Vito. 7th and 8th are still a battle between Shelley and Bouchard. 9th is Pericles. 10th is Vanderpesh, who's continuously running through the field. Arndt has been very quick on this stint, though, on this set of tires. Arndt is another one that we're going to watch for possibly later in this race. I don't know if he's going to get to the lead group without a caution. And so far, it's been a caution-free race, so we might see our first caution-free race on an oval in a long time. Myatt's looking to make a move on Myatt. Maddie's making a move on Kenny, that is. And here, not going to make it there. However, if Maddie Myatt's been using lap cars as a pick very nicely here, and something that her father tends to be pretty good at doing, but I think Kenny saw that one coming and kind of outsmarted his daughter there. Very smart move there by Kenny Myatt to think ahead on that one, as Padkar continually drives away. However, eventually Madeline Myatt would get by her father, Kenny Myatt, for 2nd position, and now is chasing down Padkar with a heavy group of lap traffic in front of Padkar coming up here soon, and pit stops coming. I'd watch the 1 car for a possible victory today. Interesting strategy is Kenny Myatt decided to change up. Actually, both FBRs decided to change up their strategy coming into this one here, as they both pretty early there with Benjamin Dover. They saw what pitting early is able to do here, and I think they're starting to see what the benefits are as Myatt has caught Padcar, and it looks like Padcar is going to come in. Myatt is as well, so here we go on pit stop strategy here, and it looks like Shelley's once again going to stay out here. Not sure if I like that move there. Ace Vito decides to change up the strategy as well. Very, very interesting racing strategy here, because if Kenny Myatt's strategy works off, he might get the lead again. And it looks like the 9 car is going to get the 8 there, but is he going to get the 1? The 1 is the car that's currently the leader. The 1 beat the 8 off the pit road, and actually, Kenny Myatt does not get Madeline Myatt there, and now it is a Myatt v. Myatt battle at the front of the field. Okay, here we go. This is a battle that we haven't seen in a while, that we've always wanted to see, but haven't yet seen. A battle for the lead between the two Myatts. Old guard versus new guard here, and it looks like Kenny Myatt's got a really good set of tires right now, and we're gonna see what who the real master out of that group is. Here we go. Where's James Shelley in all this? There's Shelley on pit road. They're not gonna be a factor, I think, in this, as there's some pretty heavy lap traffic coming up. Padcar is in 3rd position, but remember how quick Padcar is. Dodd is down to provisionally 4th, as, well, I kind of proved it right there, where, Shelley's strategy didn't exactly work. Vanderpesh is battling with Angel, so Vanderpesh is in the top 10. So after starting 35th on the grid, if there's a caution, Vanderpesh could be a scary one to watch. So the two Myatts now are lockstep with each other, battling for the lead of this race here. The 1 has been faster than the 9 today, however, I'm not sure about that for much longer. Of course, Madeline Myatt will be driving car number 9 next year, as long as she doesn't win the championship, of course, and retain the 1. Normally, her number has always been number 11. However, there was a lot of concern whether or not a 9 would be on the grid, and not a lot of people thought that they were worthy enough to take the 9, and, well, Kenny Myatt thought that his daughter would be the natural fit for it. Here they come through by the lap car of Malachi Cohen. Great move there by Maddie to anticipate what the 9 might try and do. And very, very smart move there by car number 1. The 1 has been held up a little bit by the 28 car, however, she does make the move finally on the 28 here for the lead of this, or not for the lead, but for, no, she doesn't make the move. The 28's really fighting quite hard here, and this is what the 9 really wants to see, because the 8 is right now being held up by 78, and oh boy, Vanderpesh is setting some insanely fast lap times in comparison to the leaders. If Vanderpesh pulls off a 35th last row to win, ooh, and he's got a little bit of time that he could do it, and he's close enough to do it. That 17 could be a serious, serious threat as he's making a move on Dodd for 4th position after starting 35th on the grid. Oh boy, here we go down the front stretch here. Makes the move work there. He does take over 4th as Padcar is getting by the lap car of Cohen. Vanderpesh makes a move on Padcar for 3rd. And now Dodd's going to follow suit. So now Vanderpesh has clean air between him and the 9 and the 1. Ooh boy, I'm watching that 17 car like a hawk. I guess all he needed was a sniff of a good car, and he was going to be back in the racing world pretty quickly here. And now Vanderpesh, well, you're welcome back. Vanderpesh is setting lap records to try and chase down the leading 2. Race lap records around this track. He did a 27.8 2 laps ago, and now he did a 27.9 1 lap ago. And keep in mind, these cars are being held up by Tyler Thaber. Oh boy, Vanderpesh could be a serious threat. And look at Noah Hart, another driver coming out of nowhere, setting some really quick times in 8th. If there's a caution, Hart could be a factor as well in this race, as finally the 1 car makes it by the 28. And the 9, is the 9 going to make it easy? and painless? I don't think so. The 9's not going to get by as painlessly, or as he would like. And you can bet that that 17's in for a Herculean battle with these two up here. Especially with how hard Thaber's been racing to try and stay on the lead lap. I don't think Thaber's going to make Vanderpesch's life too easy. But if Vanderpesch gets by Thaber easily, I'm thinking Vanderpesch could be a very, very serious threat for the win with the speed he's running. And Vanderpesch actually made the move stick quite easily there. Ooh, Myatt, and runs Myatt up the track, and that's going to really hurt their momentum. Oh boy, we nearly saw our first on-track incident of the day, and it might have involved the two Myatts there, but oh boy, now Vanderpesch is right up with them. And Myatt just slid wide trying to make a move on, or Matty Myatt tried to make a move on the 48 there, and the 9 was on the outside of her at that point and couldn't make the move work, so now, oh boy, here we go with Vanderpesch, the fastest car on the track right now, other than Noah Hart. Noah Hart now is the fastest car on the track back there, and with how the field's kind of locking up, Vanderpesch makes a move on the 9 for second. Okay, now the Myatt 1-2 has been broken. This could be a very interesting battle now at the front of the field here, as now the 1 sees this coming. Remember, the 1 and the 17 have a lot of history with each other, I think, back in the day, back in their one-off days, or back in Myatt's one-off days, for that matter. And now the 1 is now trying to hold off the 17 now for this win here at New Hampshire. This is going to be a very interesting battle, but you got to also keep in mind that we could have another pit stop here, and the 9 has been getting the upper hand on pit strategy. Vanderpesch hasn't been able to make a move, though, on the 1 car as this race continues until maybe now that Myatt's being held up by the 21 car here. However, Myatt makes a move on the 21 thinking that Vanderpesch was going to set her up. And that's a very good battle. Keep in mind, 4th on back is having a very hard time getting by Thaber. And I'm really thinking that this battle is definitely not over. This could be 2 podiums in a row for GLM. And where's the 35 in all this? 35 is, well, further down the order than I think they would have liked. He's running 14th, so he lost a couple of spots. Bisceglia did. Interesting, though, is Kenny Myatt used Wallish as a pickup to get Vanderpesch, so Kenny Myatt now retakes 2nd position on Matty Myatt, so here we go, everybody. And with fuel being a factor, you got to keep in mind Kenny Myatt might need to save some gas a little bit here, and Matty Myatt saw what Kenny's going to do. More contact between the two. I think Kenny Myatt didn't expect the 9 to be so, or to be the 1 to be so slow there, trying to get by Caldwell. However, the 1's got clean air now. However, how easily will the 9 get by the 16? Looks pretty self-explanatory right there. And so now, with open air, how easily will the 17 get by the 16? Looks like he's going to get by pretty... no, not yet. And when clean air, I'm thinking Vanderpesch might have the upper hand, as the 9 and the 1 are really happy to be away from Vanderpesch for a little bit here. However, all good things must come to an end, as Christian Vanderpesch has a problem, and he can't keep it on that little road course portion. He tried to get down on the road course portion. He had a tire going down, so Vanderpesch has got a pit. So that eliminates 1 car that I thought could have won this race. However, if there's going to be pit stops, which we're not sure about, actually, that might be more serious than a tire going down, it looks like. If there's going to be a pit stop, though, I was thinking Vanderpesch could have the way upper hand here by short pitting. However, it's a Myatt v. Myatt duel at the front of the field. It's Matty Myatt versus Kenny Myatt, and they have no lap cars that are really going to be a factor in this race. Unless there's a caution, which I don't think is going to happen. Vanderpesch does get going, but he's a couple laps down. Unless there's a caution, I don't think there's going to be much of a factor between them. Dodd has gotten through the lap traffic and is a little bit quicker than the 2 Myatts, so with 10 to go, he could end up sneaking into this one by the last lap. However, he's going to have to hope that the 9 and the 1 do more shenanigans like they've done the whole race, or this whole last stint. James Shelley would get by Eddie Shempadkar for 4th position, and it looks like Bouchard's going to follow suit for 5th. Noah Hart is in the points now with John Art actually in as well, but not in a good position. Tauger's in as well, however, with Hart really kicking butt. Oh, that's Tyler Thaber in the pits, so we could end up... So that's the first car that pitted. Okay, we could see some pit stop cycles here today. It's all a big factor of can they make it to the end? Is there anybody in this field that can make it? I'm not sure. The 9 of Myatt's in. Kenny Myatt's in. And now you're going to watch the 1. Can the 1 make it on fuel? You got to also watch James Shelley. Remember, James Shelley stayed out a lot in this race. I was thinking the pit stop strategy could be a big factor in this one. Remember, the 1 stayed out a little longer, however. It looks like she's going to pit as well. I don't know, though. Did Shelley save enough gas in this one here? As it looks like Bouchard's coming in with Matty Myatt. Matty Myatt's coming in. Hart's in. So now the whole field just went topsy-turvy as the 9 took a splash in gas to get out of there. So now the new leader is car 84. Does he have enough? And he's been saving in this race. He's been saving. Pad cars on a fuel save run as well. Oh boy, it looks like Pericles was running out there. Pericles blipped there. Where's the 9 in comparison to the 1? Let's see. The 1 got a lead over Kenny there. However, is the 84 still out there? The 84 is in. Okay. The 84 couldn't make it. So now the 1 has the lead of this race. But does the 84 or anybody got something for her? Doesn't look like it. And Kenny Myatt's a long way behind her. Dodd now takes over 3rd consistently here. So everybody had to pit for a splash here. And Kenny Myatt's got to gain 2 seconds in 3 laps. And I don't think that's going to happen. Kyle Bisceglia did not pit. Neither did Jake Baskinger or Moshe Gurian, so we totally missed this, but Kyle Bisceglia on pit strategy is going to win the race. I totally missed this until the last lap, but Kyle Bisceglia on fuel strategy made it. And that's a very interesting podium, because Bisceglia, Baskinger, and Gurian made it on fuel, along with 4th place is Matty Myatt, and 5th is Kenny Myatt. So Kyle Bisceglia, I don't know how he did it, but he made it on fuel. Oh, yeah, that's Vanderpesh, I'm sorry. Kyle Bisceglia made it on fuel. Great job to him. Let's get out of your full finishing result. So Kyle Bisceglia on fuel strategy makes the race work in a caution-free New Hampshire race. And before we get any further, no car fell out of the race. I cannot remember the last time that ever happened in ARCSOA, where not a single car fell out of the race. Excellent reliability by everyone. Kyle Bisceglia wins, Jake Baskinger 2nd, Moshe Gurian 3rd. I thought Madeline Myatt was going to win until, in all the confusion, we found out that 3 cars made it. I did know that the Nokia Finlands were getting good gas mileage, though, in this race. So 2nd and 3rd for them is not exactly a surprise. 2 podiums in a row for Bisceglia. He could be a championship threat, actually. Kenny Myatt 5th, Don 6th, Shelley 7th, Angel 8th, Noah Hart 9th, Curtis 10th, Bouchard 11th, Pericles 12th, Padcar 13th, Allen 14th, Tauger 15th, Grayson Acevedo 16th, John Art 17th, Will Hoyt 18th, Dover 19th, Shepard 20th, 21st to Monaco, 22nd to Rahal, 23rd to Brock, 24th to Fries, 25th to Jones, 26th to Davidson, 27th to Fitzwater, 28th to Caldwell, 29th to Thaber, 30th to Walsh, 31st to Lamas, 32nd to Vanderpesh, 33rd to Halleck. Tough break for Vanderpesh. 34th to Cohen, 35th to Dunbar, and 36th to Travis Scott in his first ARCSOA Elite Series race. But now we understand why Bisceglia fell back so many spots he did. Is because he was saving gas the whole time. And he was one of 3 cars that made it to the end. And keep in mind, Baskinger and Gurian fell back a ways as well. Gurian was on the verge of going a lap down before that final pit stop cycle, and Gurian comes home 3rd. So, very smart move by Nokia Finland and Kyle Bichelia's team. Kyle, I can't believe that he pulled that one off. Great job by Kyle Bichelia. So, after the round of New Hampshire, these are your top points here. You got Noah Hart with 1st, 2nd goes to Dodd, 3rd is Bouchard, 4th is Angel, 5th is Tauger, 6th is Pericles, 7th is Kenny Myatt, 8th is Bichelia, 9th is Baskinger, 10th is John Arndt, 11th goes to Curtis. Arndt had a good run going, by the way, until the pit stop cycle, which didn't give him any points. So it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. 11th for Curtis, 12th for Matty Myatt, 13th for Padcar, 14th for Jones, 15th for Rahal, 16th for Ace Vito, 17th for Shepard, 18th for Brock, 19th for Alex Allen, 20th for Freeze, 21st for Monaco. Moss and Roush will not be starting the round of Indianapolis, so they will not be in the position. So now it goes down to this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let me just recount that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So Halleck is locked in. Gurian locks himself in for the 23rd spot. The 24th spot goes to Will Hoyt, and part-time championship leader, the only driver really to get points in the part-time championship, Vincent Allen, will be locked in to the Indianapolis 250 in car number 44. With his 2nd place at the American 700, will lock him into the Indianapolis 250. So that's going to be incredibly important for his part-time championship there. Remember, there's only 4 races in that. Catawba Central is one, and then Amaria. Davidson is on the outside looking in. Lamas is as well. James Shelley in the 84 car is going to be having to qualify his win, although he should make it pretty easily. Dover, Shallrod's not competing. Vanderpesh in the 17 nearly could have won this race. He'll have to qualify his way in. Fitzwater, Dormitory, Wallish, Caldwell, Cohen, Dunbar, Thaber, Durbin, Perkins, Johan Arndt, and Tyler Thaber on 0. Tyler Thaber also has got to qualify his way in as well, so both the Thabers do. So with that being said, the next race in the season is the 50-pointer Indianapolis 250, where you could get a perfect 60 by winning the pole and then getting a victory in the Indianapolis 250. A track that Kyle Bichelia does very well at, and now he is in championship contention. Basically, if you are within 100, this week Kyle Bichelia I don't think can get the point lead, because actually if you get a perfect 60 he could. If you're within 107 points, you could theoretically take the point lead, leaving Indianapolis. If you're down to 117, or if you're down to 107, so Arndt would be the first car not able to take the point lead after Indianapolis. However, anything is possible at Indy, and with 50 points on the line for the winner, it could be a championship changer. We'll see you at Indy.